Carol here. Warm welcome to my craft room. Look at this, $39.99. I got it at Tuesday morning for $9.99 in my stash, never opened, but it pops up a wedding cake. Oh yes, probably birthday, but I'm going to use it as a wedding cake. Then I found these little alteration dies from Tim Holtz. I think I found 6 of them, but 4 got to my table. Yeah, I thought that'd be kind of nice for tags. Yeah, that's stash stuff. I'll use that. Okay, put them somewhere else. Yes, there we go. I'm telling you, I did half of this video and didn't have the mic attached, so I had to come all the way back and start over, but that's okay. That's what we do, right? Look at these envelopes, and the cards to match already has the opening. All I have to do is put acetate up against the opening frame, and you have yourself a tag to decorate for a photo to go slip down inside. Love it. Now, I'm going to write this down because this is, I think, 8 1/4 by 6 inch envelope. I don't mind writing it on there because I'm going to cover it. Gold on there, and look at this. I got this pack. I always tell you about searching out Michael's or your stationery stores, because if brides don't pick up the boxes and they don't sell, they go on for a really reasonable rate. And you know, for bridal invitations and things like this that you're looking at, they're really good. Look at that. I put a little magnet on the side of this to show you. Oh yes, I saw that on YouTube. I thought I would do it and just show you. And then Debbie, I'm still using your beautiful dangles. So here's what you do. You take an envelope, a nice sturdy envelope, cut the bottom off a sliver, just a sliver, and we're going to begin to make my 5th page using 3 envelopes so the bride can put extra pictures inside here. Oh, look at that. And in her spare time, she can pick them up off the floor. Just kidding. Yes, I'm thinking to myself, boy, that looks funny with the bottom cut out. But we are going to tape that up, and you'll see why later. Now, this, I think, this page, page number 5, gave me the worst problems ever, and yet it's the simplest thing to do. I don't know what was happening with my noggin during making this, but oh yeah, oh yes. Plus in between here, yes, a reminder, rodeo, here we go. I made 7 dozen chocolate chip cookies too. Yes, here we go. We're going to make the black. Could you move out of the way there? I can see the cookie. Oh yes, he wants attention, so you just have to let him get the attention, then he'll go away. There you go. So you're going to score this black piece as thick as you want for the actual, yeah, get the cookie out of the way. Hi, that's a shout out to Rachel. I know you watch my tutorials. Your mother told me that you watch them with her. So a big shout out to you, Rachel. Thank you very much. So here we go. You're going to measure this. I think I did it 1/4 inch to put down on the envelope, and then I brought it over 2 score marks for thickness. And you can decide this however you create your actual 3 envelopes. You know, the flap is going to go inside the flap so that they can flip one against the other. So here I'm just measuring it, and I want to have, I think, 1/8 inch of thickness for pictures to go into. You don't need any more than that. And then you need the actual fold to glue down. This is so cute. I saw this on an envelope, or on an album that had 10 envelopes, and they made an actual album out of envelopes, yes. So I just took the inspiration, and you can see it is almost 1/4 inch, I do believe. And then I went over a couple of score marks to make it a little thicker, because I am going to put, oh yeah, I gave it the thumbs up. Then I'm going to put, well, the bride's going to put extra, excuse me, little fella. There he goes. Yes, he just loves to do his thing. Now I went back to the envelopes. You want anything that is not securely fastened down, glue it down before you put this black on there. Get out of my way there. And fasten it down. And this is just the background. to the actual cards. And it's fabulous when you get these bridal boxes because the cards fit exactly into the envelope. No cutting, no measuring, no nothing. You have yourself some tags, or you have yourself some flips or flops, whatever you want to design with it. It's there. So this was a unique design for me to do because the design was already foiled on there. Beautiful foiled flowers matching the silver 12 by 12 pack that I'm using for this wedding album. So here we go. You're going to obviously on the inside there, it shows you approximately how much space I gave myself when you see me putting the glue on here. I just love it. And I had to share my gold love because the envelope has gold on it. And we're going to put some of this glue down, fasten it, and then I'm sure I lifted it up too high, like 2 notches high. And then you're going to seal the bottom of this, okay? Yeah, I'm just sliding the ruler in there. Oh, I've got so much to show you that I got at my stationery store. You're going to love it. And you'll be able to find it too later on. It's in the video. So we'll share that together. I have a blue, I think it's a Getty microphone, and I always plug it in. I have it sitting in front of me. And can you believe I didn't plug it in? And I got halfway through my voiceover before I realized, hey, there's something missing with this picture. Yeah, so I started all over, so that's okay. Yeah, I mentioned that before, but I have to mention it again. So here we go. I'm going to cut this down, this one bridal invitation. That's what this is. That's what you get in the box. That perfectly fits. But because I want a black outline on here, aren't those flowers foiled beautifully? The lines. This is a gorgeous paper set. And even though it's not the set that goes with the paper line that I chose to do the album with, it actually looks like it does. It was meant for it. So now I have to go in. Now, you know I struggle with punches and dies after the fact. And I'm saying after the fact, it's because, I don't know, I know that I should do it before you put it on the envelope. Before you do anything, do it separately. Mark it off, measure it, and then cut it out. Otherwise, you're going to go through torture like me here, trying to cut it and recut it and grab my knife and cut it, grab my scissors and cut it. Anything. I just struggled getting this to look like a nice third of a circle. I mean, Carol, come on, what's wrong with you? And this recollection punch generally punches through anything, but it didn't for me this day. But I do fix it up in the end. It looks gorgeous, and so I'm okay with it. But I will share some of the things I did because you might struggle with this. So what it looked like to me was an igloo that melted on the right-hand side. Look at that. See, they made a perfect igloo, and then it started melting. The sunlight came in from the right-hand side down on my igloo circle and melted it. So I had to take it off. So what I did was I put this down, and I didn't run it through the die cutting machine because it would flatten everything out. I'd be oozing glue, and oh my, I can't even imagine what would happen. I just wanted the marking so I could take my cutting knife and do some cutting. I mean, why not, right? Like, I don't have enough to do with this album but to struggle with making these circles. Not only one circle, but they had to match on all 3 envelopes. So when you closed it, they weren't in different spots. My little igloos had to be all together. Look at that. Now my igloo's going melted on the left-hand side. I can laugh now, but it wasn't too funny as I was designing it. I tell you what, it's funny to look at it now. But, I already didn't plug in my mic for half of this voiceover and had to start over. So, I mean, what do I worry about? Nothing. No, these are the things you struggle with. You have to do it, so why worry about it? Just carry on. Yes. Let's cut some more off. Pretty soon the bride's not going to have any depth in here to put her pictures. Her pictures will have to be 2 inches by half an inch to fit down in there. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I find this so funny, maybe because everything's gone wrong so far, so I don't know what else to do but to laugh, you know. Who does a voiceover with no mic plugged in? The mic wasn't even there. It was on the other side of my island. It was like, I was thinking, boy, I missed something here. And then I cut this out, but it was too far to the right. Oh my, Carol, get your act together, would you? Really? Like you're doing this for YouTube. My videos are what not to do. That doesn't look bad. That looks like a nice little igloo. Looks pretty good. It's a little way to the right, but that's all right. Wait till you see what I do with it. It's not going to matter at all. At all. And even if it did matter, I'm not changing it. I didn't change it, and it looks beautiful at the end. I think you really like it. Yes. And then you're going to have to seal. Just make sure you go over it and seal all the places. So there you have it. One, I don't know why that's there. This is so funny. I cut that out, but I need to make the gusset. So why is it flat in there? I don't know. We'll just see what happens. I can't figure it out now. It's been a few days and I forget. But you will see that you're going to, yeah, I'm going, how come I end up with all kinds of flaps here? I don't understand. But what you do is, it's because you put that, the envelope fold in there and you're going to see it through there. So everything's cool. But that piece underneath you have to glue down. You don't want the pictures falling out, that's for sure. So I'm checking all the corners and sealing them all up. You know, the glue will really take care of that. I don't, yeah, so there you go. And I'm not sure what I do with this thing. I'm going to myself, I'm saying to myself, something doesn't look right. No, it isn't right, Carol. You have got to score the side. Yeah. I'm telling myself, where's the score marks, Carol? You're going to have to cut this out again and do that, you know? So here we go. We have the one flap, and you're just going to put the other two flaps inside the envelope and then decorate the envelope. And it just worked out perfect for me because I didn't have to measure, because the cards that came with the bridal set were actually designed to go inside these actual envelopes. I just wanted a black background, and that is why I ended up, you know, doing that. I don't know what I'm doing there. I really don't. Oh, I'm trying to decide how much of this flap I should take off when I put it behind the paper that goes on top of the page in the album. That's what I'm doing there. So I thought I better score it. I better make 2 score marks, because this is going to open and close probably a lot. So I want Tyvek. So I grabbed some Tyvek, and I'm going to slide it underneath the envelope flap, measure it, and I'm going to glue this down. And that way it doesn't matter how many times you open and close these 3 envelopes, the Tyvek is going to be the hero in this design. It is going to not, yes, and oh yeah, Tyvek. Ooh, Tyvek. Oh yes, you got to have it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you very much for dropping by, little bird. A bird from the sky to make you smile. Nothing like it. So here we go. We're going to, I already did 2 score marks. Oh yes. And then put it up against the 2 score marks that I have on the envelope flap. Here we go. I'm making another one, I'm sure. Yes, there it goes. I love Tyvek. Oh, you know, that's why they put it on houses before they put the brick or the siding on. It's all Tyvek. I mean, it gives you Tyvek. You drive by a house that's being built, and before anything goes on it, it's covered in Tyvek. Yes, that's why they discovered it from us crafters. I'm sure of it, because we know Tyvek. Hello. Yes, it saves our albums and projects from any wear and tear. So there you go. So now I'm going to glue this in somehow. I just had to, you know, this was a long grouping of videos that I had to bring down, but I did get it under 2 hours. So, you know, I'm patting my back there, because that's a miracle in itself. And so you're going to slide in your Tyvek, and this way, when the bride opens and closes these 3 envelopes, there's going to be no problem whatsoever of tearing the flap. Just get the gussets in the right spot, you know, that you made. You have 2 gusset marks, you scored them twice, and then you scored the Tyvek. See how you have that beautiful gusset on the outside of your envelope flap. It all comes together. And then I like to play around with it because I want to make sure that when you get the glue on, it's going to fold nicely and look like it has beautiful creases on the outside of the design. That's important to me. I can make a billion mistakes, but when it all, you know, comes together at the end, I'm happy. It doesn't matter. You know, you forget that. So it's like pregnancy, you know, going into labor. You forget it at the end when the baby comes in. So, you know, that's how I look at it with the card. So it doesn't last 9 months. Okay. Well, I hope not. Some of mine may seem like they last 9 months, but it's not. Bear with me. It's only 3 envelopes. 2 of them shoved into each other and then designed the fronts and the backs. So really you have 6 little designs to play with. How cool is that? Now I'm doing a secure fold over and securing it with my glue. Yes, don't get any on the white, Carol, but you know I do. And I'll show you what I do to remedy that towards the end. So let's move on. It's another day and I'm back at doing the voiceover. So what I thought I would do here is cut out a piece. I don't know why I did it right over top. Yes, help me there. The reason why I did do it at the top, I just thought of it now, is the birds help me get my mind back on track. Yeah, don't stick it down yet. This is going to go on the actual paper page of the album. So I wanted to just, in my mind, know that I'm not putting anything on this back side. This is going to be for putting on the paper, you know, the black paper, then the paper, and then this will go on a page. And it's so nice to decorate, isn't it? Like, I know that it's a little different than just doing, you know, pull-outs and tuck spots and all this with just paper. I tend to like to design with things outside of the realm of just using the paper. Although this is just paper, but you know what I mean. I'm just adding to design to each one of the pages. So here we go. You can see that it's probably 1/4 of an inch that I use my Martha Stewart scoreboard, score it, then I go over 2 little spots and score it again so that I have a little bit of depth to put the pictures in. Now, you know, even though you have the gusset, and it is going to give you some space, you do have to glue down the one spot, which would be where the gold is there, so that the pictures don't fall out. And I'm going to take it seriously now. I just got back from a doctor's appointment. It's now 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had to go this morning, and it was out of town, and it's right by a Michael's. It's 1 minute past the office there, and so I made a little wee detour, just a wee one, and went in today, and the only thing I got was E6000 4 little tubes, you know, the little ones, because I find my E6000 just dries like a rock when I have the large one. So for me, it's better to have the small ones. And I am going to use jewelry, so I did need to have it. So I stopped and got that. And then I actually got my Fiskars roller cutter thingy. You know, the one that it's a round circle and it cuts. It's generally on fabric. People use it to cut fabric. But I love cutting, and you know that. So I thought, okay, I'll try that. I'll try the roller cutter thingy from Fiskars. Oh yes. So here I'm designing at night. Something I try not to do. A lot of people, I do enjoy it, but generally, you know, with home business and doing the things, answering the phones in the day and trying to craft, and I care for Hunter for 3-4 days a week, and so I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to, and I had my jammies on when I got the idea. Look at the way I just ran my jammies over the glue area. Oh yeah. You want to take a piece of paper, Carol. You know, you don't want to be changing your jammies 6 times before you go to bed. So here we go. I thought, well, you know, I've I have washed them since this. Yeah. Well, the glue says it washes out. So there you go. I'm using my sleeve to press down the glue. Oh man, crazy, isn't it? So here we go, try to wipe up and get things in order so I have more than a 6 by 6 inch piece of space to work in. And I think it's lovely. Look at these little cards that come with it. So many possibilities to work with it. And I love the fact that the card fits perfectly. All I have to do is put something on the end and it's a picture pocket, you know? You know what I did, well, I'll show you what I did. You know, you cut out another flower, put it on top so you have a slide tuck spot for the photos. You can't get any easier than this. I know I make it look like it's not. Oh yeah, fling it on there. I got out looking for some stuff. These are the little flowers that come in the kit. There it is. This is how you find it at your Michael's. You'll get all these envelopes. You'll get all of the small envelopes, you know, the ones where you reply. You get the reply cards, and look at the beautiful silver on the end of them. These envelopes were to another set I had because they were in the gold. This is in the silver. So I just used the, you know, they're all the same measurement, whether it's this box or another box. The envelopes are the same size. And then you get those little sticky stick-on flowers, which I will be using later on. I didn't need it there. You can see it was $59.99 and I paid, it ended up being $4.99 by the time I got all the discounts. Oh yes, let's just drop by here, and what do you think she's doing next? I don't know. Ooh, let's just fly by and check it out. Oh yeah. So here we go. This is where I start cutting out tons and tons of these flowers. I have a lot of these cards, and this is where I get to use the small cards. I cut out that flower, match it to the large card size, and we're all finished. Some I took all the petals off individually, and some I did the entire flower because each flower is distinct to itself. It's a different shape, and the petals are a little different. So I just sat there in the, you know, in the cool of the night. Yes, because I have AC. That's why it was cool. And I just did some cutting, some fussy cutting, and nothing like fussy cutting. You'll appreciate your sleep after doing that, right? You want to take the centers out and make tuck spots, raise them up. Some of these flowers I raised up 3-4 times just for the beauteousness of it. It just looks so pretty. Then you want to separate the petals so some are down deep and some are raised up to give you that 3-dimensional look that we all go for. And as I seed it down, I get to understand. Now, I think this is the one where I had, yeah, look at the dirt there. This is what I had to do. I had to cover that dirty glue spot that I got on there with the glue. And there's no better way of doing that. I'm just showing you here. You want to do it twice, like cut it out, and even bring it down. Don't make it even. That's what I was trying to remind myself. I didn't bring it up to the edge. I fussy cut it down just a little wee bit so you could see the petals underneath. You know, what's the use of raising it up, right, if you can't see the petals underneath? And now I'm doing the wonderful hiding my boo-boo effects. And this worked great. And I can even add marks to the white cardstock as I'm trying to cover some. I'll add a few other ones. So it just works out well. I don't mind because I like to think outside my brain. And what can I do here? Let me see. There's always something to cover something up. And you have the space to do it. And the bride is, I left 2 of the pages clear so that, well, I did three-dimensional, a few of the flowers. But what am I saying there? Tyvek! Yes, I don't know why I'm doing that. I thought I already told you that that's Tyvek. But, oh, I'm going to tell you again. Tyvek, in case you're looking for it. Oh, Carol, come on. They know it's Tyvek. Oh, she's going to hit me with her arms if I don't get out of here. Yes. So the Tyvek is all dry and wonderful. And then you have 6 pages. That's what I was going to tell you. 2, 4, 5 pages of creativity you can do with this. You can see the little space, the tuck space you have. And I mean, this is wonderful to have these cards fit the envelopes. That's what's wonderful about buying these bridal boxes that are on sale. And you can get them at your stationery stores as well. Our stationery store does bridal. That's what they do in there. They have a printing press area where you can get your business cards made or bridal cards created, or cards like this, you know. So I pick up bridal boxes from there as well. I always look in the clearance. That's my middle name. Yes. So let's see what we're up to next. I'm putting this on the black. Oh, I switched out my glue. Oh yes, this was the new bottle that I hadn't been into yet. Hadn't broken open yet. And yeah, what is that? I haven't used it for a while. Oh yeah, the Tombow Mono Multi Glue. Of course, that's a nice sticky glue. So now I'll situate this down. Oh yeah, keep those fingers clean. That's one thing you have to remember, for me anyway. So let's just grab something and situate the glue underneath so there's no bubbles. Oh yes, sometimes it doesn't seep where you want it to seep. And so you go in and you add some more. This was just a piece of cardboard I had there. Oh, and then I took this gift card, this Visa gift card I had. So I started playing with that. And now I get the fun part of cutting this. I have a thing about cutting it. This, okay, I'm going to tell you that to save yourself time, measure all of the pieces so you don't get igloos that end up melting on one side like I had there. I even know how to cut it on the melt. Do you notice that? And then make sure your area is clean underneath. I started putting white paper underneath because anything could be on my cutting mat. I don't know what I'm thinking. But I like the fact that I'm seating that double-sided tape, that big roll, that honkin' roll, when I work. That ends up being on the bottom. So that's kind of cool. And here, oh, hi Rachel. I know you're watching. Your mama told me in a comment that you watch my tutorials. So there you go. A huge shout out to you. I hope you're having a lovely day. So here's how you get the corners. Okay, these are so tiny it's hard to get the clip on, but you just want to seat one right over top, like way over on the top, and then cut through the center. Cut on the slant there. I'm going to show you. So that's, I'm trying to get my big hands out of the way, and you have that going that way. Then you're going to take your scissors and then put it out of camera, Carol, right there you go, and you're going to have a perfect corner. Doesn't matter how small it is, you can do it. And this is the one I had to design. You could see the smudge of glue right there on top of the flower. And then I'm going to show you how it's wonderful. The corners are perfect because you cut it like that. You know, you ended up moving it. I'm going to put something, what I did was, okay, let's stop right here. I pictured this as the neckline of a bridal gown. That was the thought in my mind, so we can get it there. So I knew I could take out, there we go again, put it right up to the edge, cut it on the slant, and another perfect corner. It's wonderful. I need to zoom out there so you can see. And then you're going to put this on. I think it was because I forgot to put the black on this one, like underneath. So to remedy that, just put it on the top. It does not matter. You get the same beautiful effect whether you put it underneath or you do this and put it on top. Design is design. I think this was the backs of the envelope. The other side, I glued it down with the gusset already scored into the paper. And here I didn't see on the other side it's that way, but when you turn it over, you don't have anything on there, so you just build it yourself. Yes, this is a self-built video to show you. Just put the corners on there, and look how perfect they are when you cut them like that. I find it amazing. Bring it down, Carol. And always remember to raise it up a little bit because you're going to fold and close it. So you don't want to have anything in the way when you go to close it. So here we are. Let's move it over, and I'm trying not to get too much glue on my fingers because I have a way of transferring it onto the white cardstock, as we all know. Yes, it's hard to not do it. But, you know, that's where your bling comes in handy. So don't even worry about it. Just do the best you can. And then you create after that, over top of your little messes. It's always wonderful. Oh yeah, there comes that piece of cardboard that was on my island. Now I'm going to seat this down. Oh, look it. Oh yeah, I put the glue on the wrong side. Oh, Carol, Carol, Carol. Don't worry, just grab another piece and cut it off on a slant and see if we can get pretty close to it. That's what I'm doing. I'm grabbing the yucky one, then I'm cutting it on a slant over top of it, using it as my guide. Oh, he's saying, this is crazy. Oh, what's she doing? Yeah, you have to remember to put the glue on the right side of your cardstock. And here we go. Oh yes, let's pick at it some more, Carol, so that you can really make it a lopsided half moon circle thing. So now I have to go on each side. There we go. Bring it right up to the edge. Now I don't even need a clip. I've got it down. I can hold it with my fingers, cut it down, get the nice slant. Oh yes, I'm even slanting it myself. Doesn't that look beauteous? I just love the look of black and white. It's great. Then I cut a bit off and I'll put it over top. Oh yes, you get pretty nervy after you're doing it for a little while and it's keeping you up. Yeah, it's just clip it off, Carol. Don't even worry about it. You have lots of cardstock there. Just make your mistakes and one of them will come to pass and work for you. So don't worry, people. It all works out in the end. That's why we have stash, so we can design over top of anything we're not pleased with. So here we go. I got to hang on to that, get a hold of it, and go to the side and clip her up. There you go. And look at that. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, cut that off. And this, I can't even believe I kept this in the edit. How boring is this? But I just wanted to show you how wonderful it is and how much fun I was having. And now designing. You can go right over the black. Just, if you had some mistakes there, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I have lots of flowers cut out, and this is another day because my jammies are gone. So I'm moving into a new day. I'm going to design this flower. I think this page had the boo-boo down there. I had another mistake, a smudge down on this side. So you can see I made a tuck spot on the upper left, the lower right, and then I had to cover up something there. So why not? Could you put it in frame, Carol, please? Like, look at this. Really? Look up at your camcorder and see where it is. I just get lost in the creativity of it all. I forget to always look up. I have a little sticky note that says, check the on switch. That's right at eye level to make sure my camcorder's on, because sometimes I get doing stuff and my camcorder's not even on. Sometimes the camera's not even in the tripod. Or my mic's on the other side of the island. Oh, yeah, you never know if your mind's not fixed on the project at hand. These things can happen. So now I am going to fill it in as much as possible, make it look really cute, and not even cute, Just make it look, oh, excuse me. Can you, oh yes. Yeah, yeah. He likes to show that he is the boss of my craft room. Yeah. So, anywho, Connie told me her daughter Rachel likes when the dog comes out. And I know a lot of people like my little doggy, so I try to put him out there as much as possible. So here we go. Let's see. It's nicely placed for me. I like it. I'm satisfied with it. And then I'll create the neckline. And you have to create the neckline on each side, right? So you're going to be working on 5 sides because I covered the 6th side because it's 3 envelopes. One slid into another. Oh, I had a little smudge there, just a dot. I couldn't get it off. So I made what I thought out of the petals look like a little butterfly. And I was thinking to myself outside, you know those, I don't know if they come from elm trees, but they're those little twirly birds that come down off the tree. I don't know if it's off of a chestnut tree. We have chestnut trees. We have maples and elms, but you get those twirly birds, and then you can flick them up and they'll just fly down at you like a little twirly bird. But I wanted it to look more like a butterfly as I'm growing another plant over top of my arm. Oh yes, I love flowers. And these are flowers. Then I just took it and I'm making some little grooves in it so it's not flat. Then I'll put my little butterfly out there. Or twirly bird, whatever. It brings back so many memories for me, those little twirly birds. It's like the little yellow buttercups that you used to put under your nose. And see if you could see the yellow. And yeah, those are the days, yes, where you could ride your bicycle and not fear for a thing. And just be out during the day and putting flowers and stuff in your little basket on your bicycle. And then you would put little pieces of paper on your spokes so it made noise, and all kinds of memories. One thing I remember looking at this twirly bird is we used to have a parade. I was born in Toronto, Canada, and back there in the day they used to have buggy parades, and all the girls, we would decorate our baby buggies, and they would have a big parade, and everybody would stop and see what you did with your little buggy. Yes, it was wonderful, wonderful time back then. You know, we're talking 45 years ago or so. So it was really nice, really nice. Gave us something to do, pretty up your little doll buggy and get your dolls all situated in there. So nice, so nice. Memories are a nice thing to have when you're creating. Something will always remind me of something back in the day. Then I had these see-through little dots. They look like raindrops. They're by, let me just see here. They are honeybee, and they're called small clear dewdrops. I'll try to leave that link on the blog, on my blog for you. And yeah, let's continue here. See what we're going to do as far as designing. And this covered up little dots as well. You know, instead of putting the dewdrops on your flowers, just put them on the card. I put 3 of them on each card, just in different spots. Here I'm trying to get clear off the glue off my cutting mat of cois. And there you go. I'm liking it. And then I'm thinking I'm going to design that neckline. So that's going to be fun. Wasn't that nice? A whole lot of roses. Now, in here I put double-sided tape, just a 1/4 inch tape, because I'm going to add some organza, silver and white organza. It's kind of like going to be my Tyvek to hold the page. If you have a page that's going to flip, 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 this is a good way of not having to use Tyvek, you know, because you don't want it too thick, and this fold is just an envelope fold. So I'm going to suggest that you put some double-sided 1/4 inch if you have that much area, put it down, and then glue it with a nice, you know, good sticky glue, and then put your 1/4" organza ribbon. And what's nice about this, the glue dries clear. This is a clear drying glue. And you're going to see the gold underneath, but yet you're going to have the strength on these envelopes, opening and closing, just like Tyvek, because nothing is going to rip with this ribbon. And then you have the silver on each side, which is beautiful. And it just has the sparkle as you do with your flowers that are, what do you call that there? That nice shiny stuff on it. And yeah, I always am amazed how I can forget this stuff. See how it's drying already, and you can see the gold behind the ribbon. Isn't that pretty? I'm thinking it's not heat embossed, but anyway, I put the ribbon on the turns instead of the Tyvek, because I always have to think, if any pages in an album are going to be open closed 1,000 times, Tyvek is good, but if you don't want the bulk, just take your ribbon, especially organza, and it has a little wee, let me stop. I got these at a secondhand store, of course. They say on it like next to nothing. Reminds me of the store Honest Ed's in Toronto when I was young. In the West End, there's a big store called Honest Ed's. I think it's still there. It's huge. It has real wood floors and yada yada. And this is the kind of stuff you would find there. And I was thinking of first applying the lace around it, but you know what? Straight lace is not going to take a curve. No matter, how, if you tuck it, it just takes away from the simplicity of it all. So I put it away. See, I'm trying to go around there and it's just not working. No, but you try it, and it's in my stash. So I thought $2.29, I think I see on each roll. And then I got out my paper backed. This is like the stuff, like the vinyl that you get from Cricut, but only it has beautiful, beautiful patterns on it that are cotton. It's beautiful, yes. Your shelf liners, I have a lot of this, and I had some in my stash, like off the roll, that I've already used on projects, and they were cut out. So I thought, oh, maybe I could put some of that, but it didn't match. All of the designs on the shelf liner things I had there. Yeah, I'm just taking out. My heat tool has sat for a while, and I didn't want to have any yellow on it from sitting. You know how it burns. So I always try to remember to check my glue. Yeah. And then here's where you can make the wrongs right as far as a curve. Now, I could have brought this up a bit more. Yes, you can see my igloos on the slant to the right, but that's okay because I'm going to have floating pearls, like drop pearls on there, and truly, the flowers situated where they are, it's going to take the eye. The eye is not going to concentrate on that at all. You'll see at the end. It's really pretty, and this is where you can correct any areas that aren't measured properly. You can clean it up with your pearls, with your diamonds, and all that kind of stuff. And it was so nice. I was so glad that I thought about a neckline of a dress and to decorate it like the bride had a necklace on. And you can see how it's tucked underneath the right-hand flower, and that will kind of, oh yeah, made my heart soar, because, not soar like hurting, but soar in the sky, because I was able to resolve a problem. And that was my igloo that melted on one side. Oh yes, you can fix almost anything. And here is another fix to draw the eye away from my little igloo slant. Put some diamonds up in the corner and then put them in the opposite corner so the eye is like boing, boing, boing. It doesn't know where to go. Yeah, and it won't stick near my lopsided igloo right there, the neckline. I mean, who sees a perfectly straight neckline, right? Who looks at that? I don't look at that. If there's a nice necklace on it, I'll look at the necklace, but I don't look and see if the dress neckline is perfect. Come on. Now I will. I didn't before though. Yes. So this will help the eye. If you have something that you're just not comfortable with as far as the sizing, put something on the top and the lower edges, and it will pull the eye away from your actual error. I think it does. And then I'm going to my bling. I was going to put black and white. This is the, I thought of that, but too much. Get it off there, Carol. Just too much. You need to have something clean like that. And then I thought, okay, maybe I needed to put another petal there. That's what was wrong. I needed to lift up a petal just to give it some three-dimensional look there. Cut around the petals. They're all different shapes. Put some dimensional tape underneath it, and you're off and running. And some of the cards had a little crease in them, so I was able to get some petals out of the few cards. That's probably why it was in the clearance rack. Sorry for that. I can't help my emails coming in. That's just one of the things with the computer, right? So I'm going to raise up the center of the flower again, so that's raised up twice, so you have three little inside things there to the flower. And you can see I'm using the Stampin' Up! Dimensional, so it gets rid of my stash. And there you have it, you know. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to get out my rub-ons. I have those pink rub-ons. I need to incorporate pink throughout the album because of the end page that I designed. So here come the beautiful little crystals. I'm going to put those under the water drops and cover anything that I see that has a mistake on it, like, you know. And this here, these beautiful drop pearls, I got at Hobby Lobby. I remember the day I bought these, and I was so excited to get them. And I am using my glue, like my art glitter glue, because it dries clear. Now, I'm going to show you something. It can frustrate you to no end because the art glitter glue, say that real fast, it doesn't dry right away like your glue gun. But if you take your heat tool and you start heating it up as you're going, that will be dry by the time you get to the other side, I promise you. And you can, I just grabbed it from my left-hand side, started heating, so that it would stay there, because obviously it has a small drop pearl and a larger one, like floating pearls. I don't know what you call them, but then you can fill in the spaces with the glue that are in between your pearls, and then just heat set it immediately. Just take the heat tool to it, and it will, you will see in the pictures how it dried clear. I was just reminded, my heat tool's right beside me on the left there, hanging off my light pole. And yeah, I thought, wow, just heat it up, Carol, and you don't have to worry there. And you can see I do have white paper underneath. Oh yes, I probably turned a light on here. I think, oh, what's she doing? Yes, my ear's itching. And there you have it. I think it's so pretty. And then I took a bit of my hot glue, and any of the pearls that kind of lifted up because of the turn in the half moon circle thing going on, I just slid it with my pokey tool underneath the pearl, and there you have it. I think it's so crazy pretty. It's simple. It's not over the top, but you know, I can see, and obviously you can see the little drift in the half moon there going on, but that's okay with me. It doesn't bother me. And you'll see at the end that if you add certain things, it draws the eye away from it. So I'm pretty cool with that. And here we go. I thought that the upper left flower needed some dimension, so I'm going to put a couple of leaves, or excuse me, petals on there and lift it out so the eye is drawn up towards there as well. And it's so nice because you have your design in your mind for each side because they're almost identical, you know. It's just you're going to change the lift of the flower, how you put it on, the petals I'm talking about, and then you're going to design it a different way with the rub-ons and with the dewdrops there. That's going to help. I'll try to leave that. That's from Honeybee Stamps. And yeah, so I got rid of some of the key for me was to use up stash. You know, like we are blessed. I am blessed bountifully with supplies that I have collected for the last 5 years, and I really don't want to get in the habit of always buying the new. The new is pretty well like the old, but in a different shape. You know, you can have an elephant set of stamps that you got 5 years ago, and then look at today, they'll come out with different ones. It's just the elephants are different, you know. I'm using that analogy just to say that probably if we look in our stash, we're going to find some nice stuff that is pretty close to what the new stuff is coming out, you know. I was just thinking of that too, like all the sprays back in the day, you know, the Tim Holtz Distress Spray and the Lindy Stamp Gang sprays, and there's so many things that are on the market that I bought and I want to incorporate in my projects. So that's something to keep in mind, is just to go back and go to those cupboards and check out your stash and use it. I must be talking to somebody on FaceTime because my hands are, I always talk with my hands. I think it's because I'm a deaf interpreter and my hands are always going. So if I'm talking, sometimes I find myself just signing, you know, and yeah, it's good. It keeps you practiced up, and it's awesome. So here we go. I'm going to situate the drop pearls on here, the raindrop pearls or whatever they're called. It's so funny. I think it was 4 years ago I bought this at Hobby Lobby in Buffalo, and I can remember seeing them and think they were the most beautiful things I'd ever seen. And yeah, and then I went back sometime later and they didn't have any more. That's really frustrating. So now I'm mindful to get a little bit extra if the finances provide. Just because I know you think you see a whole lot of it, then you go back and where'd it go? You mean there's more crafters than me? Yeah, yeah. So let's put that art glitter glue on there. You can put it nice and thick because we're going to dry it with our heat tool. And drying it the first time with just a tiny little layer and then putting the heat on it will situate it for us. That's all it's going to do. It's going to seat it so that we can add more glue. So I'm pretty sure I add, yeah, I'm going to hold it for a second. And yeah, isn't that pretty? So funny, I have the white nail polish on, and even my white nail polish had sticky glue on it. I can't even keep, it's the first time I think I've had white nail polish, and I don't think I'll have it again because I had glue on those. Anything that's white attracts glue or something to it. So yeah, I changed that up. It's like I can't even keep white nail polish clean. That's crazy. Yeah, so underneath my flap, I end up cutting down the flap because you don't need that much of it. And it really kept my white cardstock clean. So I left it up there while I was working because I could place my oily hand. You know, you have to watch that too. That's another thing, is placing your hand down on cardstock because the oils, you know, on your skin will get on the cardstock. Phew. I tell you, that white, isn't that pretty? I love it so much. I can't even tell you. It really does look like a bridal gown necklace on the neckline. I love it. And I'm going in between the little stitches here with the art glitter glue. Then I'll take some heat to it, and then it dries really quickly. I was really pleased with the idea of putting the heat tool to it. So if you're using glue and you don't want to wait 4 days for it to dry, just heat set it and you'll be good. Yeah, I'm just testing it out here. And then I slide a piece of old cardstock that I, you know, I'm not using down inside it. So if anything was going to ooze, it's going to ooze on that and not on the other page. So happy with this. And I love the idea that the bride will get tuck spots to put extra photos. You know, you might, and it may stick up a little bit, the photos or whatever, or keepsakes, you know, little keepsakes from the wedding. There's always those little things. You can always find something. Just to have the envelopes, I think, on the page adds a little bit to the project and to the album. So I'm pretty happy with this. And each side is different from the other, even though I've only incorporated the same things. You know, you have the diamond bling, you have the pearls, the flowers, and the dots, the raindrops there. And yeah, and you can see you don't need much art glitter glue, right? It really does hold those. They're still on there today. And what's today? Today's Wednesday. Yeah, it's now 10 to 2. So we're plugging away, and I appreciate you spending this time with me in my craft room. I always picture you right here, and we're kind of just craft together. Now here's something that was in my stash. Yes, that was the same night that this isn't 2 nights. This is the same night as before. I just slid it in the edit. I love mulberry paper. I was going to incorporate some mulberry paper, and I loved these butterfly pad that I got from a friend way back when that mailed it to me. And this is leather paper. I thought maybe I could incorporate some leather paper. And then I found these pockets in my stash, these tiny little pockets. You could even use that white thing on a project and just cover these with your own cardstock. These were on sale at Michael's, and they were teeny little pockets, so I'm going to try and incorporate that into the album. Then I found these stickers that I had in my stash, and I am going to place them there. Now, you can, if they're just plain and they don't have any black around them, just set them on top, like glue them onto black cardstock and cut it out. But yeah, this is another thing that will help the eye if something is not cut straight, is to put things in the corners. It just tricks the eye, and that's awesome. So yeah, I even have something on that I'm trying to get off there. Probably glue. Glue has a way of finding my stash. That's okay. So what did I decide to do here? Oh yes, then I went to my stash. This was amazing. I have rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls of lace. If I have time, I will tell you about this find. It was at a drugstore in town that was moving, and they had reams and reams of all different colored lace, all different kinds. I was thinking of sliding it down into the inside, but it would have been too bulky. I ended up, they wanted, I don't know, $3 a ream or $5 a ream. I offered them $20 for everything that they were selling, all of them. I think it was 5 boxes full. And do you know what? Because they were moving that day, they took it, and I got all of it. And it's in storage, just tons and tons and tons and tons of delicate lace on those bolts. And the Lord just worked that out for me, trust you me. And I was just, I was overjoyed, and I just, like, it's in my stash. Now we're going back to the stickers, the rub-ons. I love rub-ons. Don't be afraid to buy rub-ons. Look, they come off if you accidentally get them, but I do suggest if you're using rub-ons to put a piece of paper down as you're doing it, because just by the sheer weight of you rubbing it on, more than likely you're going to get some that are going to make their way to the cardstock, at least for me. And I put the little rings and hearts in the corners and anything that drew the eye away from my slanted little igloo there. And isn't it pretty? And I was able to incorporate the pink into the album because of the teapot and the teacup page. So this was nice, and I put 2 little birdies there. I'm pretty sure they're little birdies. Look at that. Oh yeah, love it. I just love it. I love rub-ons. Don't be afraid of them. And then I guess the little rub-on wouldn't come off. I probably made a little thing with my pokey tool, so I covered it. That's why wait for your cover-up stuff to last, because you never know how much you're going to get on it. And now I'm going to add some to this corner to lift it up so that an actual picture can go down in there. I'm going to keep this pretty flat. I did a whole section. And then if any glue oozes out, the good old baby wipes. I get mine at Costco. I love them. They're bigger boxes, you know, you get, I don't know how many in a case. I buy them by the case. Every time we go, I'm putting one in the cart. Yeah, my husband's probably thinking, we don't even have a baby. Yeah, baby wipes. He knows what they're for, trust me. I keep them in the bathroom too. I keep them in the bathroom, in the kitchen. It's a quick picker-upper, and they're cost effective, so that's always nice. So here we go. I'm going to put another one of these. They're not a sticker. This is cardboard. You know, it's thick. And I'm going to put laughter on this corner. And what do I put in that? No, Carol, get that out of there. Get that out of there. What are you thinking? Our memories. Just hold it there for a while. Yes. I love laughter. There's nothing sweeter I think, in a marriage is when you can laugh with each other. Not at each other. Yeah, I have to remind myself. No, yes, laughter's a good medicine. And there we go. Get that out of the way, Carol. So we're going to get the bling bling around there as well. Try and make it as try to get that look of the melted igloo thing going on the right hand side. That's what's really hard about cutting with scissors, and the mistake that I did make on this is I should have measured every page and cut it with the stamp, or not the stamp, with my cutter thingies there. Oh, I must be tired, I think I was up at about 5:30 this morning, and my mind is closing down here. It punches. There's the word. You should punch it all out before it goes down, before you glue it down. That's a smart thing to do. So now we're going to go over to this side, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make a little bit more tuck spots. And here, I always want to be reminded to bring it down. Don't cover up the petals underneath. Try and leave a little line there. And then I have to find some paper to actually, what am I doing there? Paper, calling all paper. I need to have the center of the flower. I was probably just thinking, waiting for the glue to dry, something. And yep, took out 3 of the little raindrops. Shaking up my glue, dropping a dot, and then my pick stick with ortho wax on the end of it. Yeah, I'm showing you. I have ortho wax on the end of it because those pick sticks don't stay sticky. I don't know if yours do, but mine didn't. So having the orthodontic wax beside me, I just tear off a little piece and put the goober on the end of it, and there you have it, a nice picker-upper. So I'm heat setting this and putting it down. It just adds that elegance to an album, to 3. This is just 3 envelopes, my friends, from a wedding box that was on sale at Michael's. Always go to your clearance and check that out. And your office supply stores. I get them there too. They don't take up a lot of space. I put them beside my, I don't know, I have a unit here off my, that had the 9 baskets in it there. I just put it on the side and stack them up. And then I just write on them what colors they are, like gold and white or silver and white. And then I just grab them and everything falls down and I have a mess. So now I'm just taking a little bit of the ooze and glue off into my baby wipe with the pokey tool. It does, oops, sorry about that, another email. coming through. And here's where I put a little bit of the hot glue under my pokey tool because I guess I had pulled it a little too tight, which raises up the pearl, and easy remedy. And there comes my heat tool to heat set the glue right away, and then I will add more glue over top, heat set it, and cut that off just so it looks pretty. Add another one under the tiny one. It's such a quick fixer-upper there, adding the hot glue. But I have to always be reminded, because it sits for so long, to check the glue that it isn't burnt inside the heat gun. So that's just a reminder if you have that problem. Now I'm trying to find the closure. That's pretty. I really like that, but it had too much color through it. So I didn't want to risk that. And I'm looking, no gold, Carol. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Has gold in it. Pink. Then I find a set of earrings. They're, yeah, get that out of there. They're, oh, what do you call that kind? The diamonds. They're not diamonds, but they're, oh, it'll come to me. What's the name of those diamonds? I can't remember the jewelry store there. It's zirconium, but they have another name. Anyway, I have a set of these with the drop pearls, and I haven't worn them forever. That's pretty too, but it's too big. And I mean, look at that, Carol. Stop what you're doing, because the bow, get that out of there too. The bow is diamonds, and the drop pearls, And I didn't mind giving up my earrings for this project. I'll use one probably on the closure of the box that this is going to seat in for the bride. And let's get back to these. Now I want to share, I just wanted to see the size I should use for the back of this beautiful bow. And I want to use up my basic gray. The Wish, over on my blog, I put the links. You just press the link, take you right to Wish. They have a clearance sale going on now. Some of it you don't even have to pay the shipping. That's crazy. I was just on there. I ordered some more. I really love the 12 millimeter by 1 millimeter. Here's my brads. I love these little filigree brads. And here's my spice jars. I think there's 24 or 30 of them. Years ago I got them at Costco, and I took them all out, washed them, took all of the spices out. I craft more than I cook. So I cleaned them out, and then on the lids I put what's inside it. And I wanted to put my O-rings, or my washers, my tiny washers. You don't have to use two of your what do you call these things? Magnets. And you pick the washer just by making this little chart on a piece of paper will help you out. My favorite is the 12 millimeters by 1 millimeter. The 1 millimeter gives you the depth. If you can get any magnets for 1 millimeter, grab them. The basic gray are 1 millimeter, but the basic gray, they're not as magnetized as these are from Wish. There's the washer. You use one washer on one side and your magnet on the other, and you're going to save half of your magnets. That's a deal in itself. Check it out. I have the links over on my blog. Press it'll take you there, and you will get, that's the basic gray. I use basic gray forever. I always use those, but once you see what these Wish magnets are like, the magnetization of them, I mean, anything that's magnetized, they suck your earrings right off your ears if they had any type of magnet on them. I'm telling you, they're so magnetized. So I ordered a couple of hundred more of the 12 millimeters by 1 millimeter. I love the 12 round size. It's just a tiny bit bigger than the 10, obviously, and I love it. This is the basic gray I'm using here. I'm sliding the double-sided tape with my washer underneath. I'm just figuring out where it should go. Then I'll, put the tape, double-sided tape down there. I'll take the tape runner off of it when I go to cover it underneath. But I'll wait for that, and then I will just glue that, put it onto the back of the earring, like this so I can just have it on. Isn't that earring pretty? I think I've only worn them once, maybe twice. I got them at, I don't know, it was a jewelry store that sold just that zirconium stuff. I bought a pen there and these earrings with the drop pearls. Love it. And look how much room we have for photos underneath there. And then I thought I had these and I was going to put them sticking up so you didn't see the cut of the paper. But I said, oh no, can't do that. Can't do that. And then I saw this beautiful gold thread, like this gold twine. Gorgeous, I'm telling you. It sparkled just like the flower. I love stash supplies, I'm telling you. Just add some, what did I use here? I used hot glue to situate that, but I'm going to put E6000 over it. I am going to put E6000 over it just with my pokey tool and set it on the side so I know it's going to stick, because I don't trust hot glue with metal. But for now, it worked until I picked up my E6000 today. And I love the little tubes, the tiny tubes, because I can manipulate it on the back of the metal without getting it all over the place. And there you have it. I'm just heat setting this once again to make sure it stays in the place I want them. And I want to make it look circular. I love it. I put joyful on the one side, which would be the lower page when you're flipping the envelopes. Then again, laughter. I don't know what it says because my hand's in there. And I'm just adding a bit of glue underneath there. Give it a shot. And laughter is the shoulder. I don't know. All I know is the scripture verse for laughter, but this isn't the scripture verse. But, you know, laughter can just help out in so many situations, just to have a good laugh over things, you know. It just eases. They say that the face uses less muscles when you smile than when you have a frown. So you don't get as many wrinkles if you laugh instead of frown. I think that's what they were saying. And how true is that? You know, laughter is the... Good night, get your hands out of the way there, Carol. What's the matter with you? Move out of the way. I should just go get my elbow. Just a minute. Where's your manners, Carol? Please wait just a minute. Oh, tell you what. And this laughter had nothing to do with my shoulder, okay? It said, laughter is the shortest distance between two people. Now that's kind of different than a shoulder. Like, what is that? Laughter is the shoulder that brings your hands together. Oh, that's not bad, is it? But that's not what it said. Oh, yeah. So, what's the word I'm looking for here? It'll come to me. That's my new saying. And isn't that pretty? Oh, I love that earring. I love that set of earrings. What happens if I need to wear those now? Just kidding. And here I'm sliding in a glue page. Ooh, 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 ooh. Slide it back out, Carol. Don't do that. Slide it back out. Yes. I have to figure out how much I need on that side, because this is where I don't know the reason why I was doing that. I have to look into it. Could you just please move your hands, Carol? And then, I wanted to straighten up the igloo thing there to make it look nice. But I don't even think I use it. No. I might use it on that one. Let's see. Yeah, to make that look a little cleaner. But I end up taking this out and using that butterfly paper that I showed you. It has some beautiful pink paper. It's very, very thin. Very thin. And it's gorgeous. So here are some of the dies that I cut out. I think these are Heartfelt Creation dies that I had. And I finally found them. It amazes me how we lose things. And I'm just showing you how pretty that's going to look with the page sliding down on there. But you have to put your pages somewhere else. If you're going to use a latch, you know, something to hold it with magnets, you can't have this there. because that beautiful gold twine would wreck it. And I'm going to put one on each side, and then it'll be places that I'll put them in another place. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm going to put them in another place to have tags for pictures so that you get some nice size pull-out tabs using these beautiful designs right there from Heartfelt Creation. I ordered some beautiful ones from Wish. I will leave that on there. Here's a couple of Heartfelt Creation things dyes I'm going to use. I love that one. But I had these in my stash collecting dust in a little zip-up thing, you know, right there with the Velcro on it. I have that collection with the swans, that swan Heartfelt collection. So I will use that. This is how I store. I put 5 per case of any collection that I collect. So this is 5 of the swan Heartfelt collection dies. So I will use that. You don't need to have these. I did order some from Wish. I'm going to leave the link. This is my friend Gail. Hi, Gail. These are the ones from, let me see, Christine. Oh, what collection is this from? I'll have to look it up. I'll put it on my blog. You can order these. They're long. They're like 7 inches across. These are not A2 dies. These are long dies. You will love them. So here's the book, the album I ordered from Heartfelt Creation in white. And these are the pages I have to fill. It is 6 1/4 by 8 1/4. That's the size I have to remember to make my black cardstock, because the other pages are going to be totally different than these. And here you have it. Here's the ruler that this has the metal edges. I got them at my stationery store. See, it's metal. And it has the 1/4 inch, the 1/16 of an inch, 32nd, the half. And I saw this on a video and I thought, I don't know if it was from Simon Says Stamp or whatever. I got this one for $8.99 at my stationery store because it's metal. Then I walked over to the clearance box. Carol, I don't know what you're doing. You're making me dizzy. Back away from the camera. Back away. That was $8.99 Canadian. But I went to, and I got the same one. Look at that. It has the 1/8, the 1/4, the half, and the wonderful $2.98 in the clearance bin. $2.98. $2.98. Now the other one was $8.99 because it was heavy. I had to order that from the Big Beanie store. But look at that. I don't know what I'm showing you. Oh yeah, $8.99 and $2.97 for this one. $2.97. In American funds, it would only cost you 10 cents. We Canadians always tease that your money, oh, our money is crazy. If I give $100 at the bank, I get like $70 US for 100 Canadian. It's not the time to be switching your money right now and buying in the States. You know, I try to be very mindful of that, to not be wasteful. So here we go. I'm looking for some more trim to do my album. And I thought this one would be nice, but look at it. It takes up too much real estate on the page. It's frilly, it's satin, it's pretty, but it's not for there. This is where my page is going to go, by the way. Yes, I have a 1/2 inch gusset going down the center there between the 2 pages, and I have to be mindful to keep it, yeah. Sorry, on the flap, I took half of the flap off, and then I'm going to miter the edges. And yeah, no matter how you do it, Carol, if it doesn't fit in on the left, it won't fit in on the right. I'm just trying to help you out there, woman. Yeah, can you see that? Yes, it's not going to work. What are you? What are you doing? Come on. You're tired, that's what you are. So now I have to cut it because I did that. Pretty soon I won't even have Tyvek there. Look at that, here I go again. Something about cutting stuff, trying to make it even. Oh yes, I bought this at a antique sale. Yes, I was at an antique sale with my sister. This is that, oh, what do they call that? It's not twine, braiding. Is it braiding? The dom cord, this calls dom cord, it says on the thing. I have 10 of these rolls, spools, 10 of them I got at this auction. Oh, and so many trims, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And I'm not bragging, I am just sharing to watch. You know, you have to be so mindful. I know that it's difficult. You can't have everything. I can't have everything. I watched my money carefully. There it is there. Isn't that beautiful? And I was at this auction, and they brought a big box of that out, and I was able to get it probably, if I'm remembering, it was $10 for the big box full of this. Here you want to, you know, some people light, you know, a barbecue lighter and burn the edges, but I don't like that because probably the whole thing would come up in flames. I burned down my craft room. So I like to just put the hot glue on the edge, take my spatula, set it up against it, and then cut it down, like miter the glue when it dries so that you can't see it. And that will keep it from fraying. And look at, I'm using my ruler. Yes, that beautiful ruler. $3. Okay? $3. If I had ordered this online, ordering it from an American craft place, it probably would have been $15 with the exchange and the shipping. Because shipping's bad. Oh, look at that. I wrecked this too. Let's just take it off and, yeah, get it out of the way. That's my Prit that I get at my stationery store. It is so crazy sticky. It's insane. This is their expensive, more expensive tape runner because it does it's really sticky. So I don't mind getting it there. So here I'm going to put a little bit of gray on here. This is what is going to hold my 3 envelopes onto the page in my bridal book. Okay, and I put a whole pile of white typing paper there, so when it got yucky, I just throw the top one out and I move to the next one. I don't know why I didn't do that. I have tons of this typing paper. And here we go. I took some of my stash pink. I will put that over top. Now, if this was expensive paper that I'm using here, I would have die cut the centers out of it just so that I had the outside. Did I just grab that one? That was no good. Oh, it's crazy. I thought, okay, I'm going to go and get, this is from, I bought this at Walmart. They were $1 a piece. I think $1.05 or $1, just $1, something really low. Maybe $1.09. I got this 2 or 3 years ago. Our prices, you can watch for things at big box stores and get a good buy. They had 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, and 1/8 of an inch. And when they were $1, you know, I really did get me a lot of them. So here we go. This is some stash I ordered from about 2 years ago. I ordered this online on eBay, I think. They had a lot of good sales. I just wrapped it around my paper here because I'm going to match all the pages with these two, so that when you look at the album from the sides, it's going to match with the trim. I just don't want to have one trim. No matter what I put on that page, the trims will match. So I will show you how that's going to work. So I just, instead of putting it in the baggie all the time, you know, the little cello bag that I got them in, sorry about that too, you're going to, I just wrapped it around that. It'd be nice to wrap them all around cardboard, but I don't have any time for that. Now I want you to see this. This is a glass, I got this at Michael's. It's a glass Eiffel Tower with velvet on the inside. It's beautiful. And I keep my purdies in here, my purdy stick pins, some of them. The pearl ones. I think I separated mine, so I had pearl ones in here. And isn't it nice with that dress, the Eiffel Tower and Petty written on it? I just love that. And that was, I'm pretty sure it was at Michael's. And that's my Harley Davidson. I bought a watch, a Harley Davidson watch, and it came on that puffy pillow. So I kept that for in there, and that's pretty. I thought I'd share that with you. And that's where I took out my pins that had pearls on the end. I am going to do some Oh, I'll wait until that video to show you how you can do some pretty projects with pearl or nice stick pins. Let me just say that. And hopefully I will get to that on the next tutorial. So here we go. I want to, yeah, put that aside. Carol, go ahead. And I picked this out of my trims. You know, I cut down wedding dresses. I buy up wedding dresses if I can get them for around, I try to go for $15 a wedding dress. I'll pay $25 if it comes with a veil and a train. Now the prices will be going down for the winter. So I think I have 7 beautiful wedding dresses that I have packed away in zipped up plastic. You know, when you buy your comforters, I keep that big plastic thing, and that's what I keep my wedding dresses in. I have one on a dress form just because it's pretty, and then the rest of them, you know, when I have a little bit of spare time, I just start cutting the trims off the train and the beautiful head pieces, all the pearls you can get, and all of the bling bling that goes with the wedding dress. And it's nice to have it contained into one container. So if you buy a nice comforter set, keep that big plastic that it comes in and use it for crafting supplies. It really is. It's helped me with that, with my bridal gowns. So here we go. We're going to put, this is the paper that matches. It's over top of the pink and the gray, and it's nice and thick and sturdy. That's why I added so many. Now I will put my trim down, and I'm going to share something with you when we do this. I add a baby wipe because sometimes if you have an older glue gun, it burns and you get those burn marks. You don't want that underneath your trim. So I'll take a baby wipe and wipe the actual metal there so it's cleaner than, you know, when it was sitting there dripping all over the place. You can see I have a lid, canning jar lid, that I try and get it underneath so that I can just take it off and put it in the garbage when it melts. Yep, there it is there. So I picked this trim out. I thought it was lovely. It has kind of like the raindrop or the pearl drop thing going on the outside of it. I try to stretch it as much as I can get away with. You want to be careful. And then it's kind of like a heart. You can see on the bottom. I try to be sure to get the same on the top so that the heart is seated on each side as evenly as possible. You can't always do it, but sometimes it does work out. I'm trying to unstick it so it's not attached to my paper. So here we go. This is what it's going to look like, except for you're not going to see the flip, you know, the envelope flip. That won't be there. So always remember that too. And I had to take it off. Yeah, doesn't that, oh, that glues down. So I mitered it more. Because it had stuck at the bottom, I didn't want to rip the paper, nor did I want it seated, you know, so it wasn't. So yeah, just miter it off as much as you have to, you know. Leave some of it. Leave at least a couple of inches to flip it. And that's all I did. I took back as much as I could onto the trim, slid that inside because this is where it's going to flip, 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 flip. And your Tyvek is going to be the best friend of your album. Yes. Ooh, yeah. What's next, Carol? I have it right to the edge, too. Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm going to put this in between so that my hand, nothing happens there. The papers are cool. I mean, when you buy something like that, and then it's going to stay firm, let me just say, because you have it covered totally with your double-sided roll, tape roll, or whatever you want to use. Yeah, so here we go. Oh, Carol, really? Yes, I had to take more off because of the width. Yes, I'm trying to get it as straight as possible, but you won't see it. It probably would have been great. Look at 45 pairs of scissors because I'm a scissor cutter person. Yeah. Think about the damage I'm going to do with that roller scissor thing. Oh yes, I can picture it now. It's already stuck to my typing paper there. So we're going to put double-sided tape. This is the 1/2 inch. I'll put it on the Tyvek, I think. And you want to get that down. And let's cut again. Oh yes, make sure the tape is not over top of your miter. And we'll take it all off. This is where the twine has to go down with the magnet closure, right? So, don't, excuse me, it's tape. Oh, he scares me. His paws must be tape proof. Yes, he always comes when there's tape down, doesn't he? You gotta watch for that, Rachel. So here we go. I know you like your mom told me you like that little dog, so here you go. You want to just seat it down just gently because you have 2 of them, right? You have 2 pieces of twine. You want to make them even. You wanted the tension right. So let the magnet find its spot and then grab this so that you have to work it out on each side of the drop pearl if that's what you're using. And then when you see you have enough or you have too much of the twine, cut it off. And yeah, I'm really careful with this one. You don't want to have one of them, you know, one side loose and the other side tight. So you have to be mindful of that as well. Because once that goes down with that double-sided tape, that's the Suquang tape. It's sticky on the roll. So this is how I cured that. Double-sided tape, and more double-sided tape. And then I put a roll of the Suquang tape over top of this tape. It's crazy, but you know what? I don't want, you know, somebody's taking the earring off, you know, to get into the pictures or to get into it, and then the twine loosens. Ugh, just the thought of it makes me want to eat a pizza or something. Yeah, the stress of it makes me want to go eat a submarine sandwich. Yes, you can tell that when I get stressed out, I eat. I wish I had that thing where you don't eat when you're stressed. That would be awesome. But I don't. I like to eat when I'm stressed out. Nothing like a great big bowl of pasta. Yes. But anyway, yeah, let's get back to it, Carol. You don't have to be making yourself hungry. It is lunchtime. So let's see where we are here. What are we doing now? Oh, glue, 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 glue. Yes, not only do I have 4,000 layers of double-sided tape, we're going to secure it with the Tombow Mono Multi. That's a good glue. And move your earring there and make sure you get this even. Yeah, you have a one-time shot, and you know me. Yes, I'll be Yep, watch this. Oh yeah, it was crooked because I didn't watch for that flippy thing at the top. And the liquid glue saved the day, my friends. It saves the day. Don't don't put something down without putting liquid over top of it, liquid glue. Yes, and then I'm making sure that my strands are tight enough because this is it. This is it, right there. Yeah, this is the chance you have. And now I'll kind of press it on the inside to make sure it's glued down. Everywhere where I don't wreck something, I do that. And I'm going to put paper on the black so that doesn't bother me to get sticky and grimy stuff on that because I am going to cover it. But this was important to me that I had the beautiful bow and drop pearls in the center on each side of the middle dropped pearl on the neckline. And I was happy, so now I'm going to grab this braided something, that pink. Brocade? Ooh, that sounds closer. Brocade. I think that's it. Oh yes, I'm having a brilliant moment here. Capture it. capture it while it's there. Yes. And I'm just taking a peek, making sure that it's all situated in the right spot. And I'm telling you, these magnets from Wish are so magnetized. I didn't use them here. I remember I chose to use a, oh, I don't have my thing here, but it's a 10 millimeter by 1 millimeter, and it's still magnetized. I've used them forever, and it's my, it's right here. It's my basic gray. They're good magnets. Don't get me wrong. They're good magnets. But once you use a magnet from this place, it has to say, I think, either N35 or N50 in the order, like when you're ordering it in the, that you're reading about it. But I have all the links, every size that I showed you here, and then go to your store to get the washers. Go to a plumbing supply store or to, a big boxed store that sells lumber and all that stuff. I'm not familiar with all that, but my hubby gave me the small ones. He gave me some little O-rings and some little washers of all little sizes to put in my jar, and I was really happy. So here we go. Because you're only using one magnet, you don't need two magnets. You don't need one for the inside, one for the outside. Use a washer as one of them because it's magnetized and you can't see it. So, why wouldn't you? If I could get away with using just O-rings or washers, that'd be fantastic. But I'm telling you, when you check out the prices on this, go to my blog, you are going to be thrilled with ordering it, especially from the States. But honestly, I didn't pay that much for the shipping to Canada even through Wish, and it came in a week. How crazy is that? It was wonderful. And I love how magnetized they are, and I love the fact they're 1 millimeter in thickness. You don't want anything more than that. But if you go up to a 20 millimeter big round magnet, you are going to have to do it 2 millimeters thick. It seems like they don't make them in the 1 millimeter that large. But that's if you make a box and you need a box lid. You need it to go through a lot of cardboard. Then you would use the 20 millimeter by 2. But anyway, you will see that when we get to it. And you'll see it in my pictures. You can stop it and take a look. And go to my blog and check it out. Just press the link, directs you right there, directs you right to the Wish site. I tried to be as helpful to you as I possibly could. I didn't know any of this with the magnets, and I used to always order the basic gray. But when you can pay, less than half the price, even less than that. I mean, I ordered 200 magnets, and I think I paid $16 for 200 magnets. That's a deal. That's a deal. And to have them so that they are crazy magnetized is a double bonus. So let's get off that. I think you get the drift, that it's a good buy and they're wonderful magnets for your projects. So here, because the left side, this is the left side, I can't have all of those dropped leaves, I'll call them, because it's only a half an inch on the gusset. So I cut them off. You'll see that. It still look beautiful. And I put them in between each of the dropped circles. And you'll see how I did that just for the inside of the gusset, because this would have really scrunched up. It was just too much trim for the left-hand side. So I realized that when I put it in the book, but there's always a remedy to work it down. And isn't that braided applique beautiful, the pink? It just takes my breath away. So I took the glue gun and we're just going to put it down. That was a good stash find. I was thrilled with that. Yes. And I used it on one of my first big projects for my bestie when I was designing for them. I think it was 4 years ago. And I did a huge 24 by 30 inch canvas. And I used this to cover the sides, and I was really happy. There's something beautiful about it. There's something elegant and very vintage about it. So here I'm going to go around with the same trim all the way around. No, excuse me. I don't go around the top, obviously, where the neck line is. You wouldn't get your stuff in there. But I did go right here, and be careful. You should almost lift up your envelopes there, Carol. I must have. I don't know. I don't know if I did, but isn't that gorgeous? Adding trim to anything adds to your project. You can't go wrong. I mean, you can always take away some of the trim so it's not so bulky, but look at that. I kept the leaves, the dropped, they look like drop pearls. They look just like the drop pearls on the neckline, but it's beautiful trim. And I kept it on the two sides that you'll see in the album when you're looking at it. I'm going to do every page with this. I want you to be able to see that when you look through the sides of the bridal album. And then I'll match it up the same with the box that I'm going to design to put the bridal book in. And I will design it with this same trim. So try to keep everything uniform and all your pretties lined up in a row. So here's where I had to take those, I'll call them the raindrops of the pearl raindrop. I don't know, it could be leaves. I have no idea. They look like the pearl necklace there, the actual pearl trims. And I took off the paper so you could see it. I mean, white on white. Well, I am going to shortly put it back on white paper for some reason. There we go. Yes, I lost the last edit here, and I've had to redo it. It didn't get downloaded for some reason, so this morning I am going back and doing the voiceover again. That's what happens, you know. It's the risk you take when you do edits and you voice over. So here I am. I erased everything that I did before and I had to redo it, but that's okay, you know, as long as it gets up. So what I'm doing here is I'm cutting the little raindrop things off of the bottom because when you put this into the album, it's going to, you know, hit the side because you only have that ½ inch. And this required to have a full inch if I was going to keep those raindrop leaves in there. And I thought this looked just as nice when I place it in there. So when I put the other pages in, I'll be mindful of that because I do want to match all of the trims in the actual book. So anywho, yes, that was a big surprise to me. I had it all ready to go up to YouTube, and then it gave me a warning that one portion, actually it was just a couple hours of video, did not get uploaded. So I had to take off what I had because it had a little warning camera on it, take it off and re-download it, and then oh, let me stop right there. I am just taking off this little tiny bit on the edges, yes, because it just looked cleaner. It gave the detail a much nicer look. Yeah, so that happened last night when I was putting it up, or yesterday afternoon, excuse me, and then I had to take it all off from that point on and take off my voiceover and redo it this morning. So that's what I'm doing for you, redoing it. I don't know what the other one sounded like. Yeah, it was probably better because it's always good to do a thing where it flows, you know, than to wake up, have to take things off, and then edit it back down to where you think you had it and do the voiceover again. But it's, you know, doing the voiceover again is nice and fresh, and this is, you know, fresh in my mind looking at it like this, so it does have a good outcome. I don't mind that whatsoever. Whatever you have to do to get it up there, you have to do it, and it was an error on my part. So let's move ahead. I'm putting all these little drop leaves up cattywampus on the trim, so that in between the other droplets there, I'm going to have a leaf but higher up. They almost look like the pearl droplets, don't they? Yeah, it's kind of nice. So I'm going to put tape on the back, double-sided tape, so I know not to decorate this side. Can you only imagine decorating that side and then having to put tape over it? Oh, the thought of it after this other episode, yes, makes me hungry. Makes me hungry. So here we go. I'm going to that dollar store pearl thing, and that was a dollar store not in my town, and it wasn't a dollar either. But you can see why. It was just over $1. I think it was $1.50 or something. I can't see there. But you get this honk and roll, super thick, and you can cut it off to whatever width you want, and I like that. And they're fine and tiny pearls, and that's the theme, diamonds and pearls. Can't get any sweeter, can it? Now we're going to move along. I'm going to put this strip on the top. It makes for a straight line on the top. Wherever I don't have anything cut straight, I generally embellish it. It does help. So we're heading to the end here, my friends. I am just going to go around and put pearls on each one of the drops that I added to the top. That adds an extra detail to this page. Then I'm going to place it in my album and move on. The next video, I will have the album inside completed. So you'll get to see the last three, I think it's 3 pages. But because I'm going to do them in just paper and pullouts with paper, I'm not going to be designing anything like this. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm so happy. So it will go much quicker. I think I'm going to begin that today. And it's a lovely album, and when it's all filled in, I think it will be even lovelier. Thank you so much for subscribing to my videos. I see that I have some new friends joining me in my craft room. And if you go to the end of my tutorial where I put future videos, you'll see my head there. Just press it and you'll be able to subscribe. You know all the stuff you do. You press the bell and my videos will come up in your feed. So here we go. Let's see. I hope you enjoy the pictures later, in a little bit, like in about 2 seconds. And you have yourself a blessed day, as a blessed week as always. And I'm fitting this in there. Look for some bridal packages. It'll be fun. So off I go, busy little bee, running, running, running to get those other pages done for you. And yeah, look at that. I even went in and I put all the pages where they're going to go. I'm adding some extra glue, but I bought E6000. So I'm going to replace this glue with the E6000. It just is a safer thing to do. Anywho, yes, take care. Thanks for joining me. Bye. I'll talk to you later.